因為我哋有兩行，所以咧。
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to begin. If you'd kindly take your seats now, please. Thank you. Small font. Small font. Get clear. Honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, welcome. It is a pleasure to welcome you to the Landmark Canada Inc.'s groundbreaking ceremony. Today we officially launch construction of the largest indoor retail condominium shopping mall in all of North America. My name is Lawrence Chow and I am your MC this morning. Finally, the dream is becoming a reality. Over the last 2 years, the site servicing work has been underway, and infrastructure is now ready. The landmark is now set to start building upwards. Ladies and gentlemen, you are the first step and now be seated on this newly built road, State Crown Boulevard, completed just 2 weeks ago. The 435,000 square feet of the landmark shopping mall will be built right behind me on this 42-acre lot. There's a lot of good news and information to share with you today, and with no further ado, please help me welcome one of the most innovative people around, the person at the helm of this massive project, Mr. Terry Yu, Chief Executive Officer of the Landmark Canada.
Well, thank you very much for all of you coming to this ceremony. It is very important to me. For all of you who have contributed your effort, so many names that I could not name, but I will thank you to each one of you afterwards. Well, thank you to all of your guests, partners, supporters for coming to our groundbreaking ceremony. There are exciting times ahead for this area as the landmark rises to the challenge of a demanding and booming market. Today, we, our dream team, composed of senior managers with multidisciplinary skills whose technical and creative talent excel in all the areas of design, development, marketing, leasing, and property management. Thank you to politicians, community leaders, and some of whom who will hear from in a moments after me. The landmark vision. The landmark will be the largest indoor commercial retail condominium shopping mall in North America. Its bold design, festive and lively, will draw shoppers through its doors to become enveloped in a truly new style of retailing. Exciting boutiques, stores, and services will delight the whole family. For the investors, the landmark offers a unique opportunity to own condominium real estate in a commercial retail environment, where they will be guided and supported by a dedicated team of experienced professionals. Our vision is total from start to finish, and we will be there 24/7. Landmark Canada Inc. is also a community-minded developer that believes in, together as community partners, we succeed. The landmark will preserve the 2 heritage farmhouses behind us. It's called the Underwood House and it's called the William Stone House, 2 houses. And also today we are announcing a special contribution of $1.8 million to the Milton Park Community Center as their phase 2 development. Thank you very much for coming.
Well, definitely, this development will not only change the face of Scarborough, but also have a great impact on the larger region. The Greater Toronto Area, and more specifically Scarborough, is changing with many new people and many new developments. This area, as many of you know, is also known as the Tapscott Employment District. It has a very exciting future ahead, and it has a very rich past. In order to move forward, it is important to acknowledge our historical roots. The landmark will integrate the past into its future. The two farmhouses, located right behind you over there, are designated by the province of Ontario as heritage homes. The buildings will be preserved to remind people of Scarborough of its past. Here with us today we have Mr. Mickey Snow. For the past 30 years he has owned and been the gatekeeper of the land we are currently standing on. Who else?
But who's counting?
40! Who else could be better suited than Mr. Snow to be Landmark's executive advisor? Please welcome Mr. Snow to share some interesting stories from his 40 years.
Every time I make a speech, I wave to my first wife. Before I start my speech, there's got to be 100 people here. Before I start my speech, I'd like to say a few words. That's a joke. Next week, I'm speaking at the funeral directors convention, and I got to try on a joke for them, so I'll try it on. They said try it on before. If you got any new jokes, try it on before at least 100 people. As I look around here, it must be about 100 people, so I'll do that. At the end, we'll do that. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mickey Snow, and I welcome you all here. You know, often a speaker will open his remarks by saying what a pleasure it is for him to be here. Well, in this case, it really is a pleasure to be standing here at this groundbreaking ceremony. I believe it is interesting to know a little bit about the land on which this magnificent landmark development will be built. And so I will take a few moments to share with you a little of the history of this place. This site, together with other acreages in this area, was purchased in the early 1960s. Some 40 years ago, when I bought this land, it was farmland, actually being farmed. As a matter of fact, it was farmed up until about 2-3 years ago. The farmers who owned the properties would have a roadside stand where you could buy 2 bunches of fresh radishes for 5 cents. That'll give you an idea what the times were at the time, at that time, 40-odd years ago, along Steeles Avenue, which was a little 2-laner. And now, here we are to project the image of the extraordinary facility and marvelous addition to the community, which will rise at this spot and that will have something for everyone. As I have said, this land was purchased some 40 years ago, and several years later, after studying the drainage delineations and potential routes of the sewer systems, etc., and the various possibilities of future development, I then organized all the landowners in the development area, and we began to have regular joint meetings of the Tapscott, what became the Tapscott Employment District area. We then organized a team of professionals, some of which are here today, to address the possible and probable problems that could occur in such a large undertaking. This took many years. Finally, we were successful with the creation of a development known as the Morningside Heights at Finch and Staines. That's at the southeast corner of this drainage area, near the Rouge River. A 700-acre development which included both residential and industrial land uses. The Tapscott Employment District was then extended to the north and to the west. In the following years, one section at a time, as the local problems were overcome. The landmark development is amongst the last part of the Tapscott Employment District drainage area of this area, if you follow what I'm trying to tell you. Ordinarily, when I purchased land such as this, it would have been sold in due course, and I would, like when I got draft plan approval or land use, etc., and I'd be done with it. However, when I met the principals of this project and began to really know them, I became interested in their ideas for development of this property. I was introduced to the principles of this development by Lawrence Snow, who happens to be my brother, and who also became part of the landmark team. On our first get-together, I was introduced to Charles Chan, Terry Yu, Lawrence Wong, James Tang, and Ken Lam. It was a pleasure to get to know the partners of this venture and to find what pleasant and positive thinking people they are. So it became my satisfaction to be of any assistance to them that I could be. There was a mutual rapport between us, and on the spot, they hired me as a consultant for this wonderful complex to be. My wages, after very, very intensive negotiations, was... You pay attention to trying to make a speech. My wages, after very, very intensive negotiations, was set at $1 per year, plus all the ginger candies I could eat, my favorite treat. These young people, with their vivid imaginations, will be the proud owners of an outstanding center, and no doubt it will be a source of pride to the municipality and will certainly be a big draw to people from other areas as well. I congratulate Charles Chan, Terry Yu, Lawrence Wong, James Tang, Ken Lam, and Lawrence Snow, and wish them all a great success in the landmark development. I thank you. Microphone that quickly. Anyway, now I'm going to try on that story for the funeral directors convention, if you don't mind. Just take a second. Oh, my first wife. My first wife of 58 years. 6 of the happiest years of my life. 6 out of 58 isn't bad. Oh, want to come up and make a speech? Maybe next year? Maybe next year. This story has to do that I'm going to tell at the funeral directors convention next week. 2 80-year-old gentlemen are pushing their carts around, say 2 years from now, in this development just before Christmas, so you can imagine how busy it is. When they collide, the first gentleman says to the second guy, "Sorry about that, I'm looking for my wife. I guess I wasn't paying attention to where I was going." The second chap says, "That's okay, it's a coincidence. I'm looking for my wife too. I can't find her in this big crowd and I'm getting a little desperate." The first one says, "Well, maybe I can help you find her. What does she look like?" The second fellow says, "Well, she's 27 years old, tall, with red hair, blue eyes, long legs, big bust, and is wearing short shorts. What does your wife look like?" To which the first one says, "It doesn't matter, let's look for your wife." I'm going to use it next week.
Well, while the landmark has proven to be a model commercial developer, the guidance from local community leaders and politicians has ensured even greater success. Mr. Bas Balkasun, Member of Provincial Parliament and Parliamentary Assistant to the Minister of Community Safety and Correctional Services, has worked as a local councillor when the landmark brought this project to the city. I'd like to ask Mr. Balkasun to say a few words, please.
Good morning, everyone. You don't look too happy. Good morning, everyone. Okay. Let me say, as Mickey said, we're always happy to be here, and it's a real pleasure to be here because I've had what I would call an excellent working relationship with the folks that run Landmark, all 5 principals. I just want to add a little bit to what Mickey has given the history of the land, but you know, the general public says politicians come and go and things happen and we don't do very much to make it happen. When I first got elected in 1988, I remember back then meeting with several people in this area about these lands not being serviced by the city of Scarborough. And it took about 14 years when the city staff and the works department finally started to study the area to bring in the sewers from the East End. And as Mickey said, they wanted housing in Morningside Heights, and because the city wouldn't support the housing, the sewers wouldn't come here. The one good thing about it, this is Topscott industrial area. The employment vacancy rate in this area was 0 in all the years that I was elected. Every unit that was occupied. And there was a demand to build on these lands to promote employment. But yet still, I could not get the city to invest the money and actually expropriate from Mickey and all his partners in Morningside Heights and bring the sewers to. We had to eventually give in to him and let him have housing, and then we got the sewers here, and finally we got this piece of land being developed. And I have to say that in planning, it's very difficult. I know the first time I got a phone call from someone in Landmark, I believe it was Terry, and Laurie was coming to see me. I invited the planning department to meet with me in my office before I had my meeting with them. And I asked the planning department, can you tell me what your vision is for this area? And they've said, we've had many applications in the area for industrial employment jobs, and that's the position we will keep. So we had a meeting with Terry, and unfortunately, that's what the planning department wanted. And I said to them, are you sure you can protect employment in this area and not let retail get into the industrial buildings? And they could not give me that commitment. So what happened was one of the junior planners actually wrote a memo about the meeting and what the department will do, and they have these regular Friday morning meetings, and I happened to get a copy of the memo, unfortunately. And I realized what the department was going to do. The department was actually going to allow retail only on the frontage of Steeles for a couple of 100 feet. And the rest of it was going to be industrial jobs, multiple unit buildings. And I went back to the planner and I said, I'm sorry. Multiple industrial buildings will not work because I will have automotive use. I will have people selling out of those industrial buildings. And I would have a lot of headaches to police the area to make sure the retail stays out. So I need you to take a second look. Fortunately, a good friend of mine gave me a call and said, I want you to meet a friend of mine. I had a long meeting with Charles Chan, found out that Charles was my neighbor, and we discussed it, and I went back to the planning department, and they finally said, well, okay, we have an application from Baith Developments for the corner, which, to be honest with you, my first 5 years on council, I forced to get that corner dealt with as retail commercial. And then Fieldgate Developments came in with an application on the east side. And the city staff said finally, you know what, we need to do a land use study between Middlefield Road and Topscott Road. And I said to them, it's very easy. Take a look at where TNT finishes, the project right behind here. And if you draw a straight line over to Markham Road, you should allow commercial all the way to Steeles. The staff was reluctant. They did not want to do it. They wanted to do their land use study. It has taken us 3 years to get to this point. People often wonder why the city works so slow. I do not understand it. Maybe the new guys that are here, they'll change it. I tried for 18 years. Good luck. But let me say to you, the impression I got of the project after I saw all the details from Charles is that this was going to be a destination point. It was going to be a major attraction in the Toronto area. In fact, we have a lot of people in this area right now that get on buses to go down to shop at Spadina and Dundas.
And I believe that once this project is finished, you're not going to see that happening anymore. I've had a great working relationship with Landmark. I have to say to you that this project is going to increase the tax base of the city. It's going to promote probably about 1,000 or 2,000 jobs in this area. And certainly I hope that the local community benefits from those jobs. And I hope that the city councillors that are here, they will do everything to make sure this gets built quickly, phase 1, phase 2, and all the other developments. Because by the time we're finished with the commercial from Middlefield Road to Topscott, it's going to be well over 1 million square feet. There's nothing like that anywhere in Scarborough. So I think this will be one of the busiest areas and the most attractive areas. Thank you very much.
Next, please welcome Minister of Revenue, the Honourable Michael Chan, Member of Provincial Parliament for Markham. Mr. Minister Chan,
just echo the statement. Things that have been said, pleased to be here. But I like your story, Mr. Snow. But in order to make sure that I do not get into trouble with my wife, I just want people to know that I'm not that second person that's looking for a wife. God, that is... Well, I know many people here, one time or now, get involved with this huge development behind me. I do have to confess, this is my first encountering of this development, and also with Landmark 8. And I want to congratulate, the Landmark and all the people involved. This is a huge, huge development, and I like what Bas Parkinson said. It increased the tax base of the city, and also it also increased the tax base of the province. And by doing that, it actually make my work much, much more easier. So that's what I have to say. But I have one wish to make. I know that wish will not be realized. I wish this piece of land is located not south of Steele, located west of Steele. That will make my life more happier. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you.
now please welcome Scarborough Councillor, the Chair of the Scarborough City Council, Ron Kelly, to say a few words.
Well, thank you very much. Landmark and its associates, distinguished guests, members of Scarborough Community Council, Councillor Thompson, Councillor Ainsley, Councillor Beermaker, Councillor Moser, Councillor Cho, I saw him, Councillor Lee. We all bring you greetings from the Mayor and Council of the City of Toronto with their best wishes for the successful building and operation of this landmark site in the former city of Scarborough, the community of Scarborough in the city of Toronto. And Michael Chan, eat your heart out.
You have city staff as well. City staff.
I shall. When I first met Charles, he did a marvelous job of working with members of council and city staff who were very cooperative, stubborn at times, but ultimately cooperative. Landmark was just a name, a very pleasant face attached to it. And it wasn't until I walked up the street and came down this new road and looked at the size of the development that I realized how appropriate the name Landmark was. This is a landmark site, a landmark investment in the city of Toronto. And I thank you and I applaud you for making that investment. Thank you very much. If this were downtown, if this site were downtown, and I'm looking over here, if that were Yonge Street, over there, what street was it? University?
That's right. Spadina.
Spadina? Yeah. If that were, say, Queen Street, what would that be?
King.
Would that be King?
King and Richmond.
That far? That would. This would be headline news in the Toronto Star. Really, it would be. And it's regrettable that there isn't a greater presence from the downtown crowd here this morning. But this is a landmark site, a landmark investment. And we're looking forward, of course, to the taxes that will be generated. But Michael, I'll tell you what you could do. The taxes that you're going to get from the province are going to dwarf any taxes that we get here from the city. So if you would give us 1% of the sales tax, that would go a long way to meeting the deficit, the structural deficit that's faced by the city of Toronto. Impressive. I particularly want to thank Councillor Chin Lee, who did all the heavy lifting in the last 6 to 8 months. There were some complicated negotiations with respect to Section 37, and Councillor Chin Lee wrapped everything up in a neat package at the last council meeting, and I want to commend him for his continued hard work on behalf of Landmark, the community of Scarborough, and the residents of Toronto. I want to publicly thank him in his office. And finally, I want to thank Landmark for its persistence. I think that when they started the process, they made a commitment to work closely with both the politicians in the area, on the community council, and with the staff, and with all the stakeholders in the immediate area. It was not easy for them. It probably took a lot longer than they had anticipated. It always does, I guess, when you're dealing with politicians and staff who have as their first principle caution. But they hung in there, and I want to commend them for being, if you will, a model of how development occurs in an established community. Thank you very much, and all the very best in the future.
Definitely a role model as a commercial developer with its innovative design and community-minded approach, just to give you some insight in what you can look forward to in the future. Local artists and those who appreciate art can look forward to the art garden, which will be situated here on this 42-acre site. And history buffs are excited about the preservation of the farmhouses and the continuity of heritage into the future. Shoppers, like myself, of course, will have a new and exciting shopping experience. Comfortable and sleek food courts and many great restaurants will be housed here. And many investors are keen to claim their stake in North America's largest retail condo shopping mall and bring their businesses to this prime location. Another attractive feature for investors is Landmark's Supreme Management Service Program, which will give an advantage and ensure commercial success. Another attractive feature, of course, is Landmark's Supreme Management Service Program. I just mentioned that, sorry. I know personally I can't wait for everything to be up and running, hopefully in winter 2008. Well, we haven't finished here yet today. Next, we would like to welcome Scarborough Councillor Chin Lee. He is the local councillor of Ward 41, where the site is located. He will share how he worked closely with the Landmark for the contribution to the city and the community. Councillor Chin.
Thank you very much, everyone. I'd like to thank Terry, Charles, Lawrence, Ken, and the whole Landmark team for bringing this development, your dreams, to reality. Because this will help Scarborough, and this will help the community here in the area. Because as was mentioned before, there's going to be a lot of people are going out from the area to shop, so this will bring them back. And this is very different from all the other stores that's going on around us, which are basically big box type stores. This is going to be a condo, kind of like a boutique style. So it's a lot of changes here. And I'd like to thank Charles and his team, Terry, for being so generous to the city. What you're sitting on here is a city street, going to be a city street, that's going to be donated by the developer. They're going to be expanding steels to 3 lanes each way, adding traffic lights, all at their own expense, okay? Including draining the storm waters from here. And if you look at the development up here, when I first took office, I arranged with Charles to meet the M&E engineers, which is the mechanical engineering people, to see what kind of green concept they're bringing to this development. And when I met with them, they gave me a very comfortable feeling that they are doing as best as they can in terms of heat recovery and all those other features within the development. So, and if you look at all the trees there, there's going to be over 400 trees, okay, in this development. So this is all going green as well. So this is a really fantastic development in this area. Okay, besides the $1.8 million that they're generously donating to the city to expand the Milliken Park Recreation Center, and the $250,000 to pay for the arts, public arts, and I think over $1 million to preserve 2 heritage homes. So there's a lot that this developer is contributing to our community. So I wish other developers are as generous as Landmark in contributing to our assessment base. Okay. And going back to Bart Parkinson's speech, that person that gave him a call to meet with Charles was me. All right, Charles, to another friend of mine, Fred Chiang, had arranged for me to meet with Charles. And when I went to the office, I looked at him, I told him, does the city support this development? And he says, well, we're working on it, all right? And I says, are you willing, if the city supports it, are you willing to make contributions to the community? And he right away said, yes, we are willing to make contributions to the community. So it was a no-brainer for me. Okay, if they're willing to make contributions back to the community, and they've demonstrated over and over again through the whole process, I'm willing to accept those kinds of developments in my area that's compatible with the area, brings, I hear the cash register going cling cling, okay, more tax revenues. So then we don't have to go out and ask you for more money in other ways, in other forms of taxes. All right? So by all means, Charles, I thank you very much. Terry, I thank you very much for bringing this development to our area. Thank you and enjoy.
There's a space donated to the Yihong Center for Geriatric Care. At the 2007 Dragon Ball, a landmark condo unit raised $250,000 during the live auction in support of senior services. Both organizations, the Landmark and Yihong, are models of innovative and high standards, and it is no surprise they have teamed up for the benefit of the larger community. We would like to invite Dr. Joseph Wong to the podium, Chair and Founder of the Yihong Community Wellness Foundation, to tell us about the community partnership with the Landmark. Dr. Wong?
Thank you very much. Good evening, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. I used to speak at the Dragon Ball, that's why I always say good evening. But anyway, the time is approaching very fast, and 2 years ago, when we talked to Charles and Terry about this project, now today it has come to fruition. So I want to congratulate all the people who are involved with this project. And from the very, very beginning, when I look at the design, when I look at what they are bringing to this piece of land, it was wonderful. Do you think that this is one of the most classy, if not the classiest project that we have ever found, not only in Scarborough, but in the city of Toronto? And I think, Bart, you said it right, and Sheen, this would not only be a local shopping mall, it would be a very, very attractive place for everyone from the surrounding area. So instead of you having buses bringing people to Spadina and Dundas to shop, now the other way is true. So people would be bringing shoppers and tourists from the downtown area to this part of Scarborough. So I want to congratulate all of you for a job well done, and I look forward to the opening very soon. Talking of community-minded developer, Chin, I agree with you, and it has been the hallmark of this development from the very, very beginning. And Yihong was very blessed to be able to work alongside with Landmark in partnership in making sure that not only that this is a shopper's paradise, that it is, and it would also be a benefit to everyone. And Yihong is happy to be partnered with the Landmark here to provide services to many of the people here. It is not only services to the seniors, actually Yihong offers more services to a lot of other people, but primarily our job and our work is to make sure that the seniors are looked after well. So I want to thank all of you to be present today, and thank all the key principals of Landmark Corporation for this great partnership with Yihong, and I look forward to working together with you very, very closely, and I want to congratulate all of you on a job very well done, and thank you very much.
Well, let's not waste any time, folks. It's construction time. I would like to call upon Mr. Charles Chan, President of Landmark, to come up and officially break ground. Charles, Mr. Chan. Let's see if you go first.
It is very nice to see so many friends over here. And today, I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you. To say thank you to each and every one of you. We have very good support from Scarborough councillors, city staff, our MPP, and MP, and so many good friends, including our Landmarks team and all the professional teams. I would like to acknowledge some members of our professional teams, and they are Wembot Construction Corporation, Petro Partnership, our chief architect, Jonas, our steel consultants, Smith and Anderson Engineering, Inc. Studio CK, our interior design team. Paragon Woodbridge, our cost consultant. Condrain Construction. Safer Consultant Engineering. And of course, URS Canada, Inc. And again, Token means our legal counsel. Please share our success today. And our groundbreakings events belongs to each of you. Thank you.
Our distinguished guests to come forward and break ground. And before we do that, I'd like to ask our official photographer and videographer to stand by and take some. Also, Mr. Peter Petrokov, partner, Petrov Partnership Architects. Mr. Lawrence Wong, CFO, Landmark Canada, Inc. Mr. Nicky Snow, Executive Advisor. Mr. Terry Yu, CEO, the Landmark Canada, Inc. Mr. Bas Balkasoon, MPP, Scarborough Rouge River. Honorable Michael Chan, Minister of Revenue, MPP Markham. Mr. Derek Lee, MP, Scarborough Rouge River. Dr. Joseph Wong, Chair and Founder, Yihong Foundation. Councillor Godwin Chan, Town of Richmond Hill. Councillor Glenn DeBearmaker, City of Toronto. Councillor Paul Ainsley, City of Toronto. Councillor Michael Thompson, City of Toronto. Mr. Charles Chan, President, the Landmark Canada, Inc. Councillor Norm Kelly, City of Toronto. Councillor Ron Moser, City of Toronto. And Councillor Raymond Cho, City of Toronto.
this guy gets permit by Friday. I'm the supervisor. We're the supervisor.
Hold on.
How we doing?
Okay.
No, you keep it. Do you have a shovel?
Councillor Chindy, we have a show.
I want you in a nice pose, nice and low. The back row, just stand up a little bit later, okay, so I can see faces.
Okay, so yeah.
Faces.
One more, right on the camera here.
Keep going. 1, 2, 3.
It all started when you were young.
69 rise. Not dead. I hope not dead.
Thank you, congratulations. The groundbreaking of the landmark. Appreciation for all our guests. Thank you. And yes, we have silver.
I just sold 200 acres. Kid, it's the members. Okay, that's fair.
Okay, you want a shovel?
Yep, you want a shovel? Go ahead.
Okay, here we go.
Shovel.
Let him do it. Okay. Well done. Give him this. Okay, everybody got this. Okay.
Hi there, dear.
I wanted to get too much. You should start up.
Keep going. Heavy work. Who's going to
Excuse， 你想我哋呢個咧媽咧籌備咗成係2至3年㗎啦。咁我哋呢個咧係今日咧係舉行一個動土儀式，係邀請咁多尊貴嘅嘉賓呢一個市政府嘅市議員啊，各方面嘅我哋都好朋友嚟到一齊分享呢一個開工嘅日子。
簡單介紹下 Landmark project。
Landmark 個 project 會係喺呢一個2008年之前計劃係聖誕Christmas time 嘅聖誕嘅時候係完成嘅。咁呢一度係只係 Phase 1啫，我哋係一共係2期，分開2期 ，Phase 1 and Phase 2嘅。咁 Phase 1係2008年嘅聖誕，就我哋總共一共係大約係100萬平方尺嘅商業嘅商場。係會喺2個 phase 嗰度前後一齊起好晒。我哋嘅計劃係會喺2009年嘅年尾全部完成。
總面積幾多同埋咩單位？
總面積係大約係100萬平方尺。就單位係因為有大細嘅分別，有啲係分契嘅商場，有啲係另外嘅 freestanding building， 即係獨立地嘅商業租客係喺一個係 Still 喺 Still 嘅側邊。我哋呢個商場係唔係一個淨係集中係中國人嘅，我哋係希望做到一個 Canadian 嘅 shopping mall， 係一個 regional mall。
零售商鋪大約尺價幾錢？
尺價係大約1000蚊左右。
叫做
Landmark
係21世紀 Landstar 地產公司、富城地產公司嘅。咁咧，我都有份參與呢個銷售啊，呢個 The Landmark 遨天置地呢個。但係呢個 project 咧就大約42畝，咁咧就分2期發展。呢條路咧開咗條路連貫咗兩邊嘅舊街，後邊咧就係本來係工廠式，前邊呢邊係住宅。咁而家連貫咗咧，大家都好方便㗎啦。咁咧分開呢期咧，第1期發展咧，我哋睇到後邊嘅圖咧，就有一個好宏偉嘅物業，呢叫室內商場。
Once again,
跟住向街呢邊咧就有幾個獨立嘅餐館嘅，亦都係租俾嗰啲加拿大嘅連鎖店，係大家都明白同埋清楚佢哋呢度加拿大有好多分店嘅。咁後邊呢度咧就大約呢個商場咧08年尾會落成㗎啦。就咧當時買賣嗰陣時候都好踴躍嘅。咁啊，好多人嚟都支持。咁咧，但係我哋覺得呢個商場咧，就係一個好大型嘅室內商場啦，都將會喺多倫多一個好特點，同埋一個好似地標咁噶啦。將來嗰個旅遊勝地，會將好多周圍嘅遊客同埋本地嘅購物人士咧，會引嚟呢度，所以我哋對佢信心係好大嘅。
呢個會唔會一個即係全 Chinese Mall
唔可以叫做全 Chinese Mall， 雖然個投資咧嘅幕後老闆咧都係中國人，但係個目標咧都係喺本地發展嘅。你知道本地係外國人係多過中國人嘅，所以咧佢係會以本地人為主，然後遊客為輔。當然啦，好多個買者都係大部分係中國人。但係個客路咧就唔係淨係中國人嘅。
咁呢個會唔會係即係全北美最大？
可以講係全北美最大嘅華人室內商場。當然啦，有啲商場係大過佢，但係佢唔係分契㗎嘛。如果可以自己做老闆，自己分契買一個單位嚟講咧，係最大嘅。
Thank you, gentlemen.
嗰個銷售情況會唔會呢個第一期相當好啊？
上一期相當好反應，大部分都買晒。我諗一半啦，有一半係用家，一半係投資者。即係有投資者意思話咧，其他有啲就係可以嚟租嘅。
Andrushko Construction Service Limited, Goldsmith, Borgo and Company Architects. All the construction company representatives to come forward for a photo op.
如果開張個頭幾個月咧，會有少少影響，大家覺得，但係長期嚟講，永遠都係相輔相成嘅。你知道一個城市咧係唔係靠一個商場嘅？咁咧，我哋大家相輔相成，應該係最好嘅條件嚟嘅呢個。
嗰個市場供應量咁大，一個出嚟嘅用戶啊，投資者有足夠嘅數量去承受咁多。
頭先都係嗰個觀點啦，係頭嗰幾個月咧會有啲將大家拉鋸搶客嘅個情景，但係長遠以嚟咧，你知道多倫多城市發展得咁快，除咗本地人，仲有好多新移民，呢個供應係需要嘅，應該係。
你個人覺得好樂觀？
哦，完全樂觀啊！
I got here.
Yes. From this development, improve the expansion.
Ready? 1, 2, one more.
好啦，呢個 project 咧嚟 landmark 嘅咧就係全北美洲咧就係最大嘅condo development 嚟嘅，呢個 commercial condo development。咁啊有差唔多43萬尺嘅地方，攞嚟用嗰啲 condo 嘅。咁啊而家嗰個 developer 咧 landmark 咧捐俾市政府咧。180萬銀咧，就攞嚟開大嗰個 Milligan Park 嘅 Recreation Centre 嗰度，咁有好多服務，我哋多啲用啦。 連埋咧，佢哋呢個地方呢個 development 咧，會加好多樹，400幾棵樹啊！佢又捐好多錢嚟俾市政府做 public art， 做呢啲整路啊，保護兩間舊屋啊，喺嗰度紅色2間舊屋咧，都會百幾萬攞嚟保護2間屋。咁啊好多啲我哋 community benefit 咧，係呢個 developer 會肯捐出嚟。咁我希望咧，第啲 developer 咧，遲啲會嚟我哋嘅區41區又喺多倫多 develop 嘅咧，會跟呢個 example set by 呢個 developer。多謝晒。
呢個咁大型 project 會唔會影響到譬如交通問題啊，或者呢啲樓因為咁影響到個屋價咁？
都唔會影響嘅。但係交通問題咧，就已經睇咗，就係佢哋加3個紅綠燈喺度，同埋整闊呢個 Steeles 路 Steeles 街，咁會加多2條 lane， 每邊2條 lane。咁已經嗰啲 city staff 咧已經睇過晒啲嗰啲計劃，喺啲計劃趁呢個呢個區呢個 area 嘅。